What's up, everybody? Hey, this is the thing is with this all together, and as I pretty much looked at a lot of things, it's worse. It's worse than what I could think it is, because this is why I say it's worse than what the whole matter of the situation is altogether with David Irving, with the suspension, with the young guys out there. I think that they probably knew this stuff was going to happen before the draft even occurred. It's fickle in the sense how the NFL substance abuse is. Now, I can understand the PED, but when it's substance abuse, right? Whether it's marijuana, crack, I don't know what it is. Heroin, I don't know. We don't know. All the information is not there yet, right? But this is the thing that I know for sure. When you go into the substance abuse program, there's a process. They do not suspend you for 4 games with the first offense. So with that being said, this thing can get even worse than what it is. I'm looking at David Irving, the guy that can't stay on the field, and for all these issues that he's having, whether it be PED, whether it be the situation with the off the field shenanigans and stuff like that. My thing is this right here. When you're not focused, when you're not concentrating on what it takes to have a championship team, it falls on the player. It has to fall on the player. And at the end of the day, we can sit back and point fingers at everybody, but I'm telling you guys right now, this falls on the actual organization. This is 5 years in a row. 5 years in a row, shout out to my guy, Italian Cowboys, that the defense, on the defensive side of the ball, there's been some type or some shape or form or fashion, a suspension. And we can't just start saying that, okay, we want to be able to make it through the playoffs and win the Super Bowl when we can't have people we can't stop the self-inflicted wounds, the self-inflicted situations that we bringing out to our own team. This, I know it may sound like I'm preaching to the choir, but this is what we need to hear right now. We need to have some type of accountability, of dependability with these players, and every player must sign a contract within themselves saying, I would not make dumb stuff. I would not make mistakes. Because at this point in time, if you want to win, you win as a team. If you want to lose, you lose just like this. You don't think for everybody else that's out there putting in their sweat, blood, and tears and their time out there to even make the team. Those who's on the fringe of not even making the team, they putting in all this work, and then you get to skate right on in. And just because you're physical, just because you have the height, the measurables, the size, and you put that person out, the one that's trying. And it's time out for this, guys. I do know that everybody say, hey, Law, you're homering this thing up, man. You always talk about this guy that, and that guy is this. But give us the real. And I'm giving you guys the real deal, Holyfield, right now. This team, in order for us to win, in order for us to bounce back and get things in order, we have to set some type of an example. We have to set some type of ruling to put in place within. I don't even talking about no cheesy creed or anything like that. I'm talking about a coach, a owner, a general manager, a vice president of operation, for crying out loud, the PR guy. Somebody have to do something and step it up and say, okay, we are not going to deal with this whole thing going about the shenanigans, the aspect of we pointing fingers, saying that it's Roger Goodell's fault, saying that it's the guy that was on the side of the street that sold me the product fault. It was the guy that gave me the pills, the vitamin. It was meant to be vitamin D, not vitamin the other D. You see what I'm saying? It gotta be something. It's time to cut bait. This is from Matthew. Shout out to you. Shout out to Rick and Morty for being the first person in the mix too as well. Hey, Steve Mack, what's going on, man? What's funny is Irving gets suspended, but haven't heard anything about it on the other players have done worse things and stuff like that in 4 months, and they get suspended. Yes, we can play that game, Steve Mack. I feel exactly what you're saying. We didn't hear like the suspension supposedly that happened with Reuben Foster. We didn't hear about the suspension that's supposed to happen with the Jay, I guess his name is Jay Jones or Christian Kirk, or even the guy that had the DUI who actually hit something that's on our team Terrence Williams. We don't hear these things. So the Dallas Cowboys, yes, we're not the team that flies under the radar. We all know that it's going to be 6 weeks of void NFL talk, void of NFL news. The media need to have something to be pumped out and plastered throughout the media. It's just what it is at this point. But we can concentrate and focus on the things that we can control. And that, my friend, is that when I said earlier, when I was live like 95 in my car in the hot heat, you guys heard me say that not everybody is lying on you. My granddaddy used to say that all the time. Not everybody is lying on you. Somewhere lies the truth. And there you go. If things constantly find you and follow you and always around you, you have to set rules within yourself to better yourself, to better improve yourself. I always say this too as well. Everybody say practice make perfect. No, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice only make improvement. You always want to better your best. You always want to figure out, how can I accomplish something better than what I did yesterday? That's the name of this world. That's the name of this game. This world is cold-hearted. They will chew you up and spit you out. If you don't believe me, there's churches. There's churches out there that still have to pay light bills. There's non-profit organizations, if they have a building, they still have to pay their water bill. They still have to actually have food and water running throughout that organization or through that. So there's always systems, something that's in place. And when you don't have something, some type of system, somebody that you have to ask for or answer to in place, then you will have you will have stuff like this. And everybody pointing their fingers. Oh, it's Roger Goodell's fault. Or it's Tupac. Or it's Biggie's fault. It's somebody's fault, but not the person who actually pulled the trigger. You see what I'm saying? We have to figure out what needs to be changed. A-Rod, what's going on, man? Hey, Faru, yo, shout out to you, man. Garvin Peter, shout out to you too as well. Corey Jackson in the house. Shout out to you guys that's in the house. Just jumping up in the mix, man. You guys know how this David Irving situation is just, it's baffling to me because the guy has so much potential. Now, granted, if he was a scrub, I can live with that. You know, I can say, okay, maybe the scrub guy, maybe he's going to learn. And maybe that's when the Cowboys would set the example to the scrub guy. We can understand that, right? Just in small sense and in small angles of what it needs to be done. But this is the problem. This is the main problem. I do not want to hear the excuses when the defense is not performing. Do anybody know who we played week 1, right? The Panthers. We played the Giants week 2. These teams, we have to stop what you call the run. This is a run-first team. And then on top of that, you got to figure out a way to create pressure to the quarterback to have this guy not getting comfortable. Both quarterbacks, the same guys. These guys, I talked about this the other day. I said that the NFL players, they play off momentum. If you can get momentum going, that's when everything changes, right? Cam Newton plays off pure momentum. And now you just take, I bet you my bottom dollar. The happiest news of all time was heard when Eli Manning heard that, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about number 95. Okay. Hip, hip, hooray. Hey, you don't think right now the Panthers organization saying, okay, we don't have to worry about 95? We don't have to worry about David Irving, 6'7", 300 and some odd pounds? We don't have to worry about that guy? Oh, all we now have to do is worry about D-Law? Don't you know that weakens the chances of us winning? Don't you know that everybody talking about everything happened last year, right? Don't you know those teams are like, yes, Roger Goodell. Yes, Ezekiel Elliott pulled down her dress. Yes, Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, Roger Goodell. He showed her tatas. Yes, suspend this brother. Oh, don't talk about our players. Don't talk about our players who were suspended for this and that. But Ezekiel Elliott, yes, he's guilty. Even the lady said, when she said it within her text message, hold on, I'm going to have to lie to the police so that this guy can look guilty. The NFL saw that and ran away from it. But us as Cowboys fans, we were going back and forth saying the man is innocent, the man is innocent. It doesn't matter. Think of the narrative. Think of the storyline. Think of the media clicks that the NFL done ran off with the plug with it. Think about all that. Just think about that. Put that on your mental. Let me get a little backdrop of some music or something like that so you guys can understand the groove of the mind that I'm going through right now. Let me see if I can play this right now. Let me see if I can play this little backdrop, man, because, hey, I'm going to tune it down just a little bit. I got to have some rock to it, man, because this is not rocking for me right now. I'm very highly upset about, I'm more disappointed by everything. I mean, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to everybody that's still in the mix, man. I might just talk until my mouth fall off because this is just crazy. Gavin Peters, David Irving has potential as a star, and he is just ruining his career steps by steps. This is from Gavin's. Yes. Now, this is the thing. The mature fan would say, hey, just like you said right there, the mature fan, the person that's understand what is in place and what is in process right now, and saying that, okay, this kid got a problem, and all we doing is enabling it by saying, okay, we're going to wait till 4 games is over with, and he's going to come out, he's going to help us win, he's having a situation, he's going through issues. Hello, everybody goes through issues. Everybody got bills to pay. Everybody got to put gas in their car in order for it to move. Everybody got some type of internal issue that's going on. So that doesn't mean that you go out and say, okay, now although I'm saying this right now, I'm just saying whatever the substance abuse it is, I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to cast aspersions on this man about doing whatever he needs to be, whatever he needs to do to self-medicate or whatever he needs to do to get his mind together. But you can't have it both ways. If you playing in the National Football League and these are the set of rules that they have in place, you do not say to yourself and say, in order for me to cope with my anxieties, in order for me to cope with the reality, I have to do this. Forget the rules that were set in place before I even played the sport, but I have to cope with this, you know. And then whatever it may be, I'm not saying that I read every report. I'm not saying that I'm reading the information that happened. I heard I read somewhere where he said that he didn't even show up for the test. And maybe he could have been going through some situations with his old lady at the time, and maybe he couldn't meet the test at that time, whatever it may be. But the rules are set in place, and that's why I love the rules. That's why it's the law. The law states that, hey, these are the bylaws that we set for this organization. These are the things that we want you to do, and you didn't do that, so therefore you get the maximum 4-game suspension. You can try to appeal it, but we're gonna knock it down each and every time because we don't give your team the benefit of the doubt. Because you guys are the America's team. You guys are the one that we're going to have to lead and set the example by. And does it really say the fact that this is not fair? Well, if you're the America's team, you see back there, we got that banner that says America's team. And they don't do that in Cincinnati. They don't do that in Cleveland Browns. They don't do that for the Jaguars because they're not the America's team. They're not under the radar because they are not the America's team. So if you're the America's team, then you have to follow the Americans' way of the process of going through the rigmarole. And that's the bylaws. Those are the things that set into place. The Cincinnati Bengals don't have 5 Super Bowl rings. The Browns don't have 5 Super Bowl rings. The Jaguars don't have 5 Super Bowl rings. This is what you have to go through because we have the rings. Now, one can argue and say, well, the Steelers have 6 rings. They don't see that. They don't seem to have their players ridiculed, cast aspersions on, sullied, or denigrated like the Cowboys are. Well, the Steelers have Rooney. Whatever the Rooney rule is, that guy speaks volumes for the NFL. We understand that. And the Rooney family, pretty much, they don't go about putting their nose into stuff that don't belong. The Rooney guys, they sit back and they say, okay, Roger Goodell, here's a fistful of cash. We want to help you keep going this thing, moving the thing along. They abide by the rules. Jerry Jones always been a trailblazer. Jerry Jones always built his house on the edge. Hell, when Jerry Jones bought this organization, he was bent, broke down, drunk, on a yacht somewhere, and he got the phone call, or he looked up the newspaper and said, oh, the Cowboys for sale. You guys remember that documentary? So Jerry Jones always been Jerry Jones. Al Davis, I know I called him Al Johnson a couple of videos ago, but Al Davis, the same person, right? These guys, trailblazers, they build their house on the edge. And with all that being said, with all this notoriety, all this public publicity, and all these national games that they get, all these primetime shows they get, don't you know that they're going to put a bigger spotlight on the team that they behold? Come on. That is just the reality of it. Now, with that being said, with that already being the bylaw, that already been given, when you get put on that silver and blue, you get perks that other players and other teams don't get. The perks are when you finally end your career, guess what? ESPN wants you, NFL Network wants you, Fox News wants you, Fox Sports. Hell, even a fishing channel may want you because they can say, okay, this guy played for the Dallas Cowboys, right? So it comes with a lot when you play for the Dallas Cowboys. That's just how it is. That's just the way it always been, and that's the way it's always going to be. So, with that being said, David Irving, you know for sure that you've been having issues all last year with the PED situation. I understand the substance abuse and PED are two different things. To me personally, the substance abuse is even worse because you got to go through the program, and then on top of that, they will coach you up and say, okay, well, this is your first offense, and now we're going to have to push you through this other deal, right? That's just how the process goes, man. But let me see who else we got in the chat box, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Ronald Darby. Fly Eagles fly. I know you were going to rub it in on me, Ron. It's all good, man. It's all good. You're still looking up to those banners behind me. Although I can still say that, but man, this is just getting on my nerves. It's crazy, man. Irving pisses me off. But we got to keep him. Great talent. This is from, I guess, Kunstu. I mean, he's great talent. I mean, he's remarkable in a sense. You guys see the clip that's behind me. He got all the skills. He got everything that you can only imagine. He got everything you really want, especially when you're talking about a guy that will instantly count for two people, right? A guy that's instantly going to count for two people. You got that. You got that in David Irving. But my problem is this right here. What about the younger guy? What about the Dorrance Armstrong? What about the tapper who can't even see the light of day of the field, right? What about the tacos of the world? So when you try to get David Irving back, what the hell he's gonna do? Is he gonna say, okay, I'm gonna need a game or two to get back in shape? Or are we really gonna be saying to ourselves, is his heart is together? Because he can get another concussion. There'll be another 4 weeks, another 3 weeks. I'm saying it can happen to anybody, but it's something about David Irving that's just not, the wheels are not rolling. My guy, Big Game James, said the kid just don't seem like he can't get right. And there's something about him. He's goofy. He's not all together. He's not, everybody's not beating on the same drum with him. His mind, you know. His mouth say one thing, but his action shows other. I mean, we can go on and on and on about this David Irving character. All right, so what else we got? Cutting time. This is from Adrian. Adrian, yeah, what's up, man? It is about that time to be cut, you know. Irving, all talent, but 2 cents in the head, you know. I mean, you can have, look, some of you guys know you can have the baddest female friend in the world. I'm going to use this analogy. You can have the baddest female friend in the world, but if she just not putting, you know, I ain't gonna use that analogy. I'm gonna use another analogy. But you guys understand what I'm saying. Sometimes you can have this bad, beautiful lady, but if she taking all your money and then you can't enjoy yourself with this beautiful lady, then what are you with her with for? You know, she taking all your money, she driving your car, and you can't go nowhere. But she bad. You're like, oh yeah, she's bad. And then she been around the block. Everybody been with her. And you supposed to be walking around with her. Come on now. That's just how life is. Sometimes you gotta let it go. It looks like another love TKO. Cut this slut. You know, that's what Alonso said, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. You guys feel me, man. We all been in that situation before. Especially you have that car you really like to drive, but you can't afford to put the gas in, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, man. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, it is what it is of what it is. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Hey, we gonna get this thing going, man. Let me see what else we got in the chat box, man. I just really upset with David Irving. Hey, Law, Atlanta Falcons fan here. Wish y'all y'all Cowboys good here. Hey, Crabtree number 6, man. Hey, we play you guys again this year too, right? And shout out to Unintentional Ground. He's Atlanta Falcons podcaster too as well. Crabtree, you might want to check him out. Got some good content, good stuff. Luigi, shout out to you, man. Kendall, is that Ken D8, Ken Dad on 1. What's up, man? Cowboys mean everything. It's magnified 10 times or worse. It is. So with that being said, you already know that you finna get hit across the head with a lot of stuff, right? The best thing you can do is walk the straight and narrow. I do know it's hard for millionaires and people out there balling to walk the straight and narrow. As they say, one thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game. We searching for fortune and fame. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game. We searching for fortune and fame. You guys remember that show? You guys remember that song? Hey, it is what it is. We searching for it. Cowboys, they searching for it. They searching for fortune and fame. Other teams want what you got. You understand that? Other teams want what you got. And the best organization to play it off the way they did was the, pretty much I have to say it, the Steelers. We rarely hear bull BS stuff with the Steelers with this situation. Because the owner, the organization team leader, the guy knows how to craft up some things and say, okay, my guy Ben Roethlisberger, hey, he had some situation with these ladies. We're going to sweep this under the rug. We're going to go ahead and hit him with the suspension. We're not going to put this in every outlet. We're going to make this guy hush his mouth. And we're going to give the people, I don't know what he did. He might have gave him some hush money. But you guys remember that story. We don't hear it being drug out for years, you know. And they know how to get rid of a guy when it's time to get rid of a guy, right? Plaxico Burress, they say, okay, he's a knucklehead. We got rid of him. Of course, he won a Super Bowl with elsewhere. But, hey, that happened in life. Sometimes you got to get rid of your stars, you see. And they did the same thing with San Antonio Holmes. And I think that they probably do the same thing with Le'Veon Bell. They're not going to hold on to these problems. You see, they figure out a way to sweep them away, to sweep themselves right up under the rug, sweep the issues under the rug, walk on it, and leave, and they live to play another day. That's just how it is. First Take on ESPN will have field day all over this. It's from Matthew Giddis. Yes, they will have field day all over this. Think about this. It's finna be the dry season. There's no basketball talk. Everybody tired of LeBron James talking about which team he's going to go to. The ratings are dropping. And think about this too as well. And think about this. What's baseball going on right now? Baseball long season. The team that's down now can still make a comeback. So baseball is not that interesting at this point. We got the World Cup. Yes, I know there's a lot of people that's over the pond that's watching the World Cup and they all into it. But, you know, come on, let's be real. You know, some of these networks are not just going to be all into the World Cup like that. So they need something for these 6 weeks. They finna stretch these stories out. They finna say, okay, doom and gloom situation for Dallas Cowboys. We already heard about all these years. The Cowboys been pegged for being the worst and the horriblest defense ever this God created, right? But that's been years. It's been since 2013. But we've been tagged with the Cowboys don't have no defense. Cowboys gonna have no defense. And before that time, I hope you guys remember, those been following the Cowboys news. What was the issue back in those days? Who's the leader of the Cowboys? The Cowboys have no vocal leader. Cowboys have no leader. Who's going to be the guy to step up? DeMarcus Ware, he's not a vocal leader. Sean Lee, da-da-da. You guys remember that story, right? So the narrative always been slanted toward the Cowboys. And rightfully so, we don't have the leadership from above that can just drop his blessings on us and say, okay, this is what this team needs to do. Yeah, I'm saying that, Jerry Jones, you're not a true leader of man. You're a leader of wallet. You can pull out the money and make things happen in that fashion. But just trying to elevate and will a team, go back and watch the All or Nothing. We get our butts demolished. We pretty much get out of the playoffs. And he's coming in there saying, hey, guys, we ought to enjoy the fact that we have the ability to play football. We are blessed. We are some lucky, you know what, you know. So I don't want to hear that from my owner. You see what I'm saying? I want my owner to bring in that you know, the good cop, bad cop. I want him to bring the bad cop in, or the fire and brimstone coach to come in and level everybody in there, call everybody out one by one, and bring them and sit them down and say, this is what you need to improve on if you want to win. But we don't have that type of leadership here at the Dallas, at the Star. And all we can do as fans, is hope and pray and wish and say to ourselves, we hope that this team can turn the corner. We hope that the young guys can win in spite of the leadership that's going on. We hope that the leadership can be brought up between the Dak Prescotts of the world, between the Jalen Smiths of the world, between Cheeto Bear-Woozier. We hope, and we just leaning towards the promise of hope that Chris Richard can turn everything around, and his philosophy can sprinkle beyond the thoughts and the talk track of what Jason Garrett says out there. We can only just put out there and hope for those things. Ron, man, you having a field day, man. Dang, this is it Ike Love? Damn, Irving, mad talent though. Yeah, he do got crazy talent, and it's rough too as well. But just swallow this right here. For the last 5 years, there's been a defensive guy before the season kickoff suspended. That speaks volumes of pretty much not just the player that does the, I guess, the egregious crime or whatever, that did the egregious suspension, whatever it may be, however you want to put it together. That speaks volumes of the coaching staff, the organization, because when you have that fire and brimstone type of apparatus, like a coach, say apparatus, you know, tool, there's something about when you know for sure. And I played sports, and you don't, the last person on earth you want to hear or see. Sometimes your coach don't even have to say it. You can just look in his eyes and say, man, I don't want to get that look by coach. I don't want coach to sit me down. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call it in for the night. There's something about your voice being echoed through the minds of the players. When they about to do that wrong mistake, they can hear coach in their ear saying, man, I don't want to run these extra laps. I don't want to do these extra sit-ups because I know coach finna be all in me. So I'm going to go ahead and take my tail home. You know, that's what should have been echoing in T. Will's head. T. Will should have been saying this, and I know I'm jumping off the other subject to get back to T. Will's topic and say this right here. T. Will should have known, look, man, they drafted 2 wide receivers. And I know the tendencies of this particular staff that they don't cut the wide receivers that they draft. And they talking about this Noah Brown. And I'm already getting a bad situation with my foot. I don't need to be partying at nobody's club. I don't need to be at nobody's joint right now. I need to be rehabilitating myself. And my $380,000 Lamborghini, I need to be having that joint parked somewhere because I don't have to figure out how to pay this thing off. Because if I don't make this team, then there's going to be some repercussions about myself. That's what I'm saying. That's maturity right there. But, you know, who am I? Who am I to say that, right? Who else we got in here, man? Sandman 213, David Irving stuck on stupid Billy D. He called me Billy D. Williams, man. I be getting all the names, right? I be getting all the names like James Hard and Billy D. I get all these names. But I'm Law Nation, but I feel you, Coke 45 with the hen dog. I feel you, bro. Hey, who's this? Craig Incredible, man. Shout out to you, man. He's saying Sound Machine Bradley every damn year. Yes, it's every year, man. I'm tired of it, man. I'm so sick and tired of it, man. Wish this team could go into the offseason without someone getting suspended. This is from Nathan. Nathan, you know for sure. We all wishing the same thing. Matter of fact, I made the video yesterday, just yesterday. I feel like, look, don't blame all the players, just blame Law Nation, right? Blame me for jinxing everything because I said finally it's the off season. Everybody, all we have to do now, put on our lucky shirts, our lucky socks, do whatever routine that we need to do, and pray and hope that these guys for the next 6 weeks don't get into any type of troubles. Now, trust me. the NFL and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and probably Jason Garrett already knew that this guy done already was in his trouble, because we here today, they already knew weeks ago. We understand that, but still, I said it and then stuff happening. So maybe y'all just blame me. I'll fall on the sword for this, okay? I jinxed the nation, you know. But neither here nor there, regardless of me jinxing or not, this team, this young team, needs to have somebody to understand the fact that David Irving, just because he gets coddled, because he's talented, and just because I heard somebody made this analogy, let's look at it like this, Law, he's a contractor. And cool, I like you guys posting your thoughts and your opinions out there, because if everybody agreed with everything, then it would be a horrible family, right? So it's good to have those contrasts of different views and opinions. That will make us great. But what I'm saying is, he said that just look at it like a contract. The guy's one hell of an architect. He can build things really nice, and he gets in trouble, or he gets the DUI, or he gets in trouble and suspended. You already paid him. You're paying him peanuts to it. So why not, when he gets off his suspension, let him and allow him to finish his job, and then suspend him towards or cut him when the contract is over with. Yeah, but the problem is, with that whole philosophy and that analogy that you use, I forgot your name. I wish I could put your name out there. But if you so happen to watch live now, just let me know. But this is the thing. When you use that, what enabling does is that Dorrance Armstrong, the tappers of the world, they can say, hey, coach, you remember when David Irving got in that situation, you guys allowed him to play? Hey, give me a shot too. You know, give me a second and third chance too. So that's what you call enabling. You allowing somebody that you know for sure is an alcoholic, and you go into the store and you buying the alcohol for him. Or you know for sure that this person have these transgressions, and you helping them out with those issues. That is what I call enabling. That's what you call coddling. You somehow, some way, a line have to be drawn in the sand for the masses, for everybody to sit back and say, okay, we gonna have to set the example. Now, this is a high price example. Hell yeah, it is high price. But somebody got to fall on the sword for this. It's got to be somebody. We just can't sit back and say, okay, give the kid a chance, you know. Oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy, because guess what? 2019 gonna come around, and we're gonna say the same thing. Well, you know, we gave this kid a chance, we're going to give this other guy a chance. And it's going to continue to be the same exact thing. And you guys look up the word insanity for me and put it down in the inbox over here or the chat box. Let me know what insanity is, and let me know if this is insanity. It is. Dude is a rookie from Kansas, though. Kansas, you know, CT Cowboys, DC for life. Yeah. I don't know. Somebody's a rookie. If we cut him, do we have to pay his tender? Chris Shaw, I don't think the tender is null and void once you are suspended with PED or substance abuse due to the collective bargain agreement. All guaranteed money is thrown out the window. So that's what we're waiting on now too as well. Believe it or not, with T. Will situation, Terrence Williams, for those who don't know who T. Will is, the body catcher. And nothing wrong with body catching, because Mike Irving did one hell of a job of doing it. It's when you catch the ball with the body that means everything. So I always have to say that, because I always have that one person to go in there and say, hey, nothing wrong with body catching, right? But this is the thing. The T. Will situation is basically this. If he's suspended with the National Football League for drinking and driving, or DUI, or substance abuse, whatever they're going to label that situation is with him drunk driving, then it will void out his guaranteed money of his contract. That allow us to run the hell away from his contract. If not, then we have to keep his guaranteed money and continue to pay the guy. The same thing in the same scenario with D. Irving. If he's suspended, which he is suspended, then what the NFL can do, or what the Cowboys can do, is write a letter to Roger Goodell and say, hey, the money that we guaranteed David Irving is no longer valid, is null and void, and we want to just recuse ourselves for paying this guy, whatever it may be. And that's how the rules and regulation works with the NFL. So, were we willing to give up a second round pick for him and get in return possible, I guess, player for him for the second round? Yes, we was willing to do that. Did we kind of bit off too much more than we can chew? Maybe so, because if we seen this come on the front end, if they already knew of this suspension and they said, okay, we still put a second tender on him and knew that he was going to get suspended and then try to push that on to somebody other team, that's a crass way of doing business, right? That's going to come back to hunt you. So with that being said, it's just crazy altogether. Hopefully I'm wrong on that. They didn't know that he was going to be suspended until now. And maybe everything transpired from there. Maybe that's the situation. Keeping Garrett is insanity. It's CT Cowboys DC for life. Yeah. Hey man, that's the bad man that we got to get up and get out of every single day. The Jason Garrett, and in some way, somehow, that's just how the cookie crumbles with that. Joshua Whitlock, what's going on, man? Shout out to you. Sign him for a cheap contract now. Yeah, you probably can do that. You know, you can say, okay, David Irving, you had your transgressions, you had your issues. Let's go ahead and sign you for $4 million a year or something like that. Maybe. And then sign it for like a 5-year contract, right? That would be crazy, man. Who's this? What we got? Rick and Morty. That's it. That's it. Yes, indeed, man. Should the Cowboys cut Irving, Law? This is from Rody. I think that's how you say your name. That's what I'm saying. I think that they should either make some type of an example of him. And I don't think that there's other 31 teams that's really going to say, okay, if you didn't make it with the Cowboys, we'd be the first one to get you. Outside of the Patriots, I guess. You know, they would be a team that probably can, he'd be a whole new project, right? Or the Redskins. Maybe they can take a look at him. Yes, sir, Law, the truth. Hey, you got to respect the law at the end of the day, man. And I'm saying respect me, but you got to respect the law. The bylaws are set in stone. And hey, them guys give you a little tip, man. When you're starting your business, especially if it's a non-profit organization, but even if it's a LLC and you're going to be working with people, they have to have in this thing what they call business. It's a bylaws. You got to set your bylaws. You got to set your principles. You got to set your rules and regulations of your organization. You got to submit it out to the state that you stand in. That is why the law is important. You got to fall in line with the law, and that's law. That's just the way the rules of the game is. You have to do those things in order to set up your business properly. You can't just say, okay, I hire you on Monday, I fire you because you got red hair and plum painted toenails and color contacts. I don't want you on, you know, they got to have bylaws, rules and regulations, standards, everything, procedures put in place so that you can play in this organization. That's what you got to have in place. That's just how the world works. And this world, like I said earlier, this world don't care about your feelings. I do know that in this organization, in this channel, in this talk, in the chat room and everything, I do care about you guys. I won't just go out there and just silly and denigrate you guys. I won't stand up and take my shirt off and bend over backwards so you guys can see my you know what. So I care about you guys. I don't want you guys to go run off. So there's rules and things in place for this stuff, man. So that's what life is all about. Hey, who we got? Patrick, what's going on? It's time to bring in a Quinterio back. Daquan, I think you're talking about the nose tackle kid. In two different positions, they're going to need help in that position. We was already weak at defensive tackle. It's kind of like you being one-legged and then all of a sudden you break your other foot, you know. So this is the problem that we are facing right now. We was already one-legged. We was already short-staffed in that particular area. And for the first 4 weeks, I don't know who we play for after the Giants, but you guys let me know. Who do we play week 3? Who do we play week 4? Those are the 2 games. Because I do understand what the Giants are going to do. They're going to try to run first. They're going to try to play control football. They're going to try to reel everything back for Eli Manning. And they're going to go with the philosophy what the Saints did last year, right? That's the plan. They went and got Will Hernandez. They went and got Nate Schroeder. So they're gonna try to be a run first organization, and they're gonna try to do that. So we're gonna need somebody when they do pass to get to the quarterback. We need to make these teams one dimensional. Who do we play week 3? Anybody know? Put that in the chat box for me. Help a brother out. I don't have anything in front of me. And then who we play week 4? Anybody have the schedule? Because this speaks volumes the first 4 weeks. Because I know a lot of people, I guess the optimistic side of me is going to say, okay, we still going to be, flying out to the ball and doing this stuff. What's up, Ron? Shout out to you, man. So it's going to Carolina. I know we played Carolina week 1. I know we played the Giants week 2. But week 3 and week 4, who do we play? Did anybody know that? I guess I'm going to have to find it myself, man. Oh, man, Daquan Osborne. Yeah, that's what you was talking about. Yeah. Let me see. My stream must be lagging. That's what it is. Let me see if I can cut off some of this stuff. Let me see if I can go right here, pull this up. The Quentin Osborne, bring him back. Yeah, he plays a different type of position, different type of body frame. He's more of a one tech. We need somebody that can play 3 into 1. The way that Rob Marinelli plays the defense, he's looking for bodies, man. He's looking for bodies to stream off the edge. Played Seahawks, Lions. Oh my God. See, appreciate it, man. Coming through from the clutches, man. That's from Amrit. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. So we play the Seahawks, or do we play Houston week 4? Somebody put Houston. Those are big losses, man. Especially when you're talking about the Seattle Seahawks. Why? Because you got a quarterback, a moving type of out of the pocket quarterback. You want somebody to collapse the edge and get around to the corner and bend and get to the quarterback. Even on that play, look at the play in the background. You saw how they got to Jameis Winston. They collapsed the edges, forced them to pass from the pocket, and that is exactly what you want to do with Russell Wilson. You want him to throw out the pocket. He's like 5'3" or something. You want him to just be able to not see out the edges, not seeing his lanes, not being protective of his edges, and you want to collapse the edge and get to the quarterback. Look at the highlights that I'm playing below. That is what D-Law and also D Irving does. They collapse that pocket. They come around to the edge. So week 3, we got Seattle Seahawks. All right, so it's Panthers, Giants. Thank you, Jimmy. It's Panthers, Giants, Seahawks, Houston, Jaguars. So David Irving comes back against the Houston. I mean, that's a good matchup. That's the same type of quarterback of Russell Wilson. A quarterback that relies on getting out of the pocket, finding his reads, and then also this young quarterback is going to be year 2 for him. I'm talking about Watson from the Houston. He's going to be able to step back, stand tall, and pass through as well. Are we saying that we can get the same production from a Dorrance Armstrong? Come on. I'm not saying that the guy needs to develop too as well. He's raw in a lot of aspects, but I'm not saying that he's going to be world class coming out there. And then we don't know whether or not the Roger Goodells of the world are going to allow Randy Gregory to play. We just don't know that. As the Cowboys nation, as a Cowboys fan, we just don't know whether or not he's going to be out there. And Taco Charlton, we don't know what he's going to do. We just don't know. We can only speculate, right? That's the only thing we can do. Any news on Gregory? We don't know, Patrick. But shout out to you, man, for putting the information out there. Boss Hog, the big guys we picked up from the Raiders. Jihad Ward. Jihad Ward is the inside guy, interior guy. Yeah, he's that guy. Yeah, he's that guy. Yeah. But I still have to see NFL caliber games from him. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for what he's going to do during preseason. And that's kind of backwards to wait for somebody to show up and show out in preseason. But that's the only thing I can say first from his tape. He don't have a lot of tape out there. Coney Ely. Ely is still overweight right now. And I got a big placeholder on Ely. So, I mean, yeah, we do have pieces in place. And it seems like the way they drafted now, it seems like they already knew that this suspension was going to be possible. They knew that he caught himself up with some type of substance abuse. And I think they probably knew before the draft. And I want to know how the story is going to develop down the line, whether or not they knew or whether or not they didn't know, and this sort of thing. Yeah. Let me see what I got. Close this out. Man, shout out to everybody, man, for joining in, man, to the show, man. I really appreciate it, man. I've been talking straight, non-stop. This is no commercials here, right? All right, so this is from Ron Smith. I'm so glad Ezekiel Elliott is staying out of the trouble, and I just seen him talk to the mini camp and say that he's going to be focused for this season. Yes, this is from Ron Smith. We can only hope. We can only dream, hope, and wish with our aspirations, with our thoughts in mind, that he can continue to be on that particular path. That's the only thing that I can say with that, with Ezekiel Elliott, because it worries me. It still worries me with Ezekiel Elliott. Although he's showing leadership, he's showing roles that he's improving on himself. It's just that I gotta wait until week 1. Into the football to actually see pass, to actually see stars of silver and blue all over their body, and when they getting out there, that's the only time I can relax. With these players, you're always going to stay open. You stay up all night trying to figure out what's going to be the breaking news now. This is from Chris Rayner. Law, how can you cut Irving when you bring back Gregory? When you bring it back Gregory? Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing. Both of those players, and you can go back on most of my. Good point too as well, Chris. How can you cut Irving and you bring back Gregory? I mean, both of those guys have been so disappointing to me, and it's very upsetting about how are we in the same boat, right? And one can argue the fact that pretty much both of these guys has pissed out all their talent and just dropped it on people's heads like ours and say, no, it's nothing but rain, you know. So the Dallas Cowboys have an organization issue. I mean, they drafted 2 guys that they didn't draft Irving. They picked up Irving knowing that he had these type of issues already. And they drafted Gregory knowing that he had those type of transgressions too as well. So this speaks volumes. It's kind of like me going to, and I used this analogy earlier, going out finding that beautiful prostitute, right? And you finding a hooker or a prostitute, and now you're trying to turn her into a housewife, and then you get mad because she's out there screwing everyone, or she's out there flipping people around and doing all type of stuff, and everybody been inside her. I know it's a crass way to make an analogy, but that's the best thing that I can do to tell you guys to get right to the point. Sometimes it takes a long time for the persons to lose their whore's ways, right? So that's just how it goes. So with that analogy, it's a horrible analogy, I must say, but that's just the truth of the matter. If you're going out and you're getting that type of product and expecting different results, then look up the word, or look up the definition insanity for me again and post it down in the chat box. And you guys gonna see, continue to do the exact same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. There were other guys we could have picked up. There was other guys that we could have developed to be in there on their right side or on their side of the field. That's just the bottom line. That's just how we go. Too many little kids stuck in grown men's. Too many little kids stuck in grown man body. Yeah, yeah, you're right, man. Hey, somebody got to tell the truth, man. And it's hard, man. The truth is the hardest pill to swallow, man. And I understand that. It's horrible, man. It's hard, man. Let me see. You got Hankins out there. Different type of role, because we still now, although David Irving was playing defensive tackle, we're going to have a void spot, that conversion rate of somebody playing the 1 and also to have the ability to play the 3. Hankins, I love him, but he's going to be a guy that you're going to just put on the 1 and say, okay, he's going to play the inside and we don't have to worry about it. That's just how it goes. Chris Shaw, man, what's going on, man? Going on with you, man? Hey, I'm trying to deliver you guys the thunder. That's a good analogy. Pedro, man, shout out to you, man. But you know, I like to keep things PG-13, but sometimes you got to get a grown folks conversation to lament the fact of what's going on in your mind, because not everybody can understand it. And that's the best way I can look at it, you know, by us going by the way, and you know, somebody can correct me down the line about what analogy I could have used on the spur of the moment. And just people fail to realize this is live. This is not me chopping up stuff and editing like most people do on YouTube. This is live. So, I mean, sue me. All right, so no excuses. Go get a ring. Go get the ring. This is from Trey. Yeah. Hey, this is what I'm going to do too as well. I decided like 3 weeks, like next 2 weeks, I'm going to have a call-in line. Let me know if that's a good idea. let me know. Put that down in the inbox below so I can have you guys voice throughout the ether too as well, on wax, on paper, so we can hear you guys' thoughts. Might have like a session where we're going to be like, what, 1 minute call on and have a countdown, you know, something like that. Voice your opinion, especially when the season get here. Oh, it's going to be real live. It's really going to be live. Good idea, Law. Yeah, appreciate it, man. I love it, man. I love it when I have a good idea. I love when a plan comes together. Let me play this music, man. Yeah. Hey, still, we gotta laugh it out, man, because this is crazy. It's the Cowboys. Right now, everybody happy about this bad news going on with us. Everybody laughing, pointing fingers, trying to poke our eye out, pointing at us so bad about this. It's all good, man. Oh yeah, pour up the Hennessy. Yeah, it's gonna go live tonight, man. I'm gonna try to bring my guy. I'm gonna try to bring my guy through, man. That's my jam. I'm gonna try to bring my guy through, Koye. He tried to jump on last night, but it just got time in the way. I'm gonna bring Koye on tonight, and anybody else who want to jump on to the wax right now, let me know. It's gonna be later on. I'm gonna go live around 9:30, close to 10 o'clock. It's gonna be a late night groove, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the leadership. We're gonna talk about the Heath. Because I know he's been preaching about Jeff Heath, and I've been preaching all about Jeff Heath last year. But I want to hear his insight, you know, a little bit about Jeff Heath and what we think of Earl Thomas. And we're going to try to talk about Xavier Woods too as well, and the ramification of what somebody else's opinion, thoughts. I'm going to try to squeeze in Vach. Maybe Vach can come out, man. Y'all hit Vach up too as well. See if he's ready to go on live tonight too as well. And we're going to get this thing going. I don't know if Big Game James. I'm going to reach out to him too as well. We're going to get this whole panel. We're going to talk the real. We're going to talk the real deal, man, tonight, later on. Acquired knowledge over years of experience. This is from Packing Messy Cans. Yes, Yay. Yay. Yeah. And Law stands for Lewis, Awuzie, and Woods. Yeah, that's a bad way of putting words together, right? The Law. Big Vach, yeah, say prime time, hell yeah. We're going to bring these guys in. Yeah, Koye knows his stuff. This is from Craig Incredible. Man, where my guy, Hawk? Where Incredible Hawk at, man? Where Hawk Raging Cowboys at? And Ninja Nuts, man. You guys been vacant. Shout out to Italian Cowboy too as well. All right, so I've been talking for, let me see how long I've been talking. I'm almost losing my voice. It's been going on 52 minutes. I got until an hour. Let's try to squeeze this thing out to an hour, man. So talk to me, guys. What's the next order of operations? What you guys want to know, man? What you guys want to know about me? Talk to me. Trying to take this watch off, man. Talk to me, man. Oh, man, this thing is crazy. Thanks for the time, bro. Hey, Aaron, man, I try to deliver you guys absolutely nothing but the best. And we got more details of it. So the latter part of it, we just hope that he just missed his drug, because we could be talking about all the stuff he could have been completely innocent, right? So I got to throw this out here. Always as two sides to a coin. So and I'm talking about David Irving. It could be possible that the guy could have just been completely innocent, right? He could never touch any substance abuse. So this is a disclaimer. So as a disclosure of this guy, not to trust, not to fully denigrate or cast aspersions on David Irving. He could have just been going through the motions with his fiance, and the time that the NFL called him to go to this substance abuse pee in the cup situation, he could have been in, you know, legal issues with the said girlfriend, and luck could have just been horrible for him, right? And by him missing out on the appointment or missing out on the meeting, I think the mandatory suspension is for if you miss out on the drug test. And I think that's what the exact same thing happened to Randy Gregory. He couldn't hit the drug test. He missed out on it when they called him, and lo and behold, the NFL went on ahead and suspended him for the whole entire deal. But for David, it could have been worse. It could have been, I think it's like 8 games or 10 games he could have gotten. But I know that the NFL love ratings, and I think, like I said before, I think he comes back against Houston, and that's a Texas game. Think about the ratings. Think about how they can chop this thing up, and it makes a better story for the media to talk about, right? Especially during this dry season. Shout out to Indianola. Don't forget, guys, put down where you guys are from. All right, so you saw her. She is a Toddy. A thotty. That's funny, man. Yeah, go get Amazon. Yeah, go get Amazon, guys. The description, the link is down below in the description box. Guys can follow me that way too as well. Hit up the Amazon. I got the official Cowboys stuff down below. I got a lot of Amazon products, things like that down below too as well. You got links to my Patreon if you want to support Law Nation that way. If you want to make the donation to help grow the nation, you can also do it PayPal. That's always a good way to make this network and this thing better too as well. And don't forget too as well, the best thing that you can ever do for me is like this page, hit the subscribe button, and also join the notification squad and hit the share button. Share this information through the Mecca. Share it throughout the whole entire nation. Share it to the trolls too as well. They need to hear Law Nation. You guys know how that goes. Who else we got? Paul James. What's up, man? You almost was named Paul Masson, huh? What's going on with you? Patrick, shout out to you too as well. We got Baton Rouge in the house, man, right down the street from my home, Skillet Natchez. Yes, yes. Baton Rouge, we used to hit up that mall all the time, and LSU too as well. Yeah, shout out to them. Preseason game and Patreons. Yeah, Aaron, I might can squeeze out some preseason games in the Patreon. I will do that. So when you guys watch, this is my goal. This is my goal. Let me give you guys my goal. My goal is to. This is my game plan. Post every Cowboys game too as well on Patreon. But this is not just the Cowboys game. I'm gonna post the opponent's game too as well. So like, let's say for instance, week 2, we play the Giants, and we like to do scouting tape. The best way to do the scouting tape is see who the Giants played the week before. So what I'm planning on doing too as well, and don't tell the NFL, is that I'm planning on also scouting the Giants versus whoever they play week 1 on Patreon too as well. So you guys can have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Panthers. We can watch that game and see and get all upset about, you know, what happened, and get all happy about what happened too as well. And then by I guess by Wednesday or Thursday, then we can start moving forward, because this is the game plan. You talk about you talk about all the good stuff that happened against the game that Friday, that Monday, and that Tuesday. I can have a quick breakdown by that Tuesday, and then Wednesday it's time for us to move the hell on and start looking at the Giants. So hopefully, how the flow of schedule we're going to go, because you got to be organized, right? I love being organized. The flow of the schedule going to go. I posted the Dallas Cowboys versus versus Panthers game that Friday, that Sunday night or what have you, whenever I'm allowed to post it through my Patreon. And then that Tuesday, and then that was that Monday and that Tuesday, I'm breaking down film, looking at what we need to improve on. And then that Wednesday is moving on towards Giants. I posted Giants game that Wednesday, whoever they played the week before, and then we get focused on who we need to look out for. Like if it's Odell Beckham, if it's Eli Manning, if it's Saquon Barkley, we really have to take a look at that. So that's what my plan is going to be going forward week 1 and week 2. McAllen, Texas, what's going on? Giants suck, man. You said a mouthful there, man. Yes, indeed. West Texas here. We're at West Side all day, man. West Side, best side. What's going on? Marcelo, man. Halo, bad news about Irving. Yes, it's extremely bad. I hate it. Billy D. Harden. James Harden now mixed with Billy D. You know, I'm about I'm about 8 years, 6, 7 years older than Harden. So Harden do look like me. I don't look like James Harden, you know. You know what I mean? But Billy D. Harden is so funny saying the man 213, man. That's what I'm talking about. Don't forget to get that Coke 45, Sandman, and get that hen, dog. Yeah, you got to get that. You got to get it. It's Friday, this weekend. Cam Kelly making noise in camp also. This is from Craig. Incredible. Yeah, Cam Kelly, man. I can't wait to see this guy against the competition this training camp. Damian Wilson getting better. I said the same thing about Damian Wilson last year. I hope he can stay getting better. Loud sounds like a ladies' man. Yes, close the door, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I am always a ladies' man. And remember, you know how that goes, right? Hey, has it been 1 hour yet? Have I been talking for 1 hour straight? Let me see. Matter of fact, I've been talking 1 hour straight on the head right now. That's what I'm talking about. So with that being said, guys, I really just don't like you guys at all. I love you guys. I really do, man. But we got to figure out this thing with the Dallas Cowboys organization, how we can improve this team altogether from A to Z. And get somebody being suspended doesn't help this team out at all. This hurt the team in so many ways. We seen what happened last year when you don't have your A-listed players out there playing. And guess what? We need D. Irving to be out there on the field. This team is better with D. Irving out there. And this guy knows the potential. This guy knows what type of mistake he'd have made out there, whether or not it's his fault or not. Like my granddaddy used to always say before, may he rest in peace, not everybody's lying on you. And trouble, if it's always finding you, then somehow, some way, you are the problem. So with that being said, with wise words and wisdom, guys, David Irving gonna have to get his mind right and have to get himself together. We don't need to hear no more of this type of stuff. Let this be the final, because we already had a guy from the offensive side, although we already pegged him out, T-Will, and we already have a guy on the defensive side. We don't need no more of this BS. We need the coaching staff to call everybody. I don't give a care about the CBA. I do know that they can't talk and communicate with these players, but somebody needs to step up and have the cojones and call a meeting right now, tonight, or sometime this week and say, hey, guys, if you guys, I think an ex-player should do that, like a Michael Irvin, a Troy Aikman, somebody who got tangible rings, Nate Newton, Big Nate. If you can hear me, call a meeting for all these guys to listen to you. Just tell them to listen. They don't have to even say nothing. And just tell them if they want those rings, not one ring, but they want those rings, then we got to get our shit together. We got to look everybody in their eyes and say, hey, if you want to play for this silver and blue Dallas Cowboys team, get your mind together and no more of this nonsense. Get on the field and demolish that person that's beside you, or across from you. I meant to say not beside you, but shit, them two as well. Demolish the person. Play with fast, play force and aggressive. And if you guys want these things that I have, then you have to show up on Sundays, and you can't do it when you suspended. That's all the time I have for today, guys. I'm gonna give me some some tea and get ready to go for this thing tonight. Freshen up, kiss my baby, because she's gonna be coming home from daycare anytime. And guys, I want you guys to do the same thing too as well. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace. Let's jam out to some of that. I started this thing off with, what I started us off with? I started off with some Kratos, right? Kratos music. Let me see if I can find that. If I can find it. Where are you, music? Where are you, music? Let's jam out, man. Shout out to y'all, man, for going through this with me. Hey, got 50 people in the house, man. You can't leave without hearing the crunk stuff, man. There you go. It's finna happen. I'm finna pop it up. Finna pump it up, man. Come on, play. Play, 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 play. There you go. Always been playing. There you go. I like the way this thing come on. Watch how this thing come on. This got to get you live like 95 and anything else don't. We still gonna make it.